Hey everyone, Terry Getz from healthybeing.com, and welcome to part 2 in my video series on transitions. Last week I explained why I'm doing this 4-part video series on transitions, and that's because it dovetails beautifully with my Summer of Transformation program that I launched, which, by the way, you can participate in throughout the summer. It's free. And because transitions are great opportunities for transformation. So last week we talked about the first thing that all transitions have in common, and that is that everyone hates change. Today we're going to talk about the second point, which is that they are filled with emotion. Transitions tend to be a time when we are very, very emotional. Now, part of the problem with that is we're not staying present. And I kind of hesitate to use the word staying present because it's so overused these days that people almost glaze over and don't listen to it. But I cannot tell you how important it is to be present, because in this moment, you are creating your future. And if you are not present, what we tend to do is you're either stuck in the past, perseverating over what you've lost, or blame or sadness of all the things that went on in the past, or you worry and are anxious about the future. So if you're doing both of those things all the time, where are you creating what's next? Have you ever heard the phrase that worry is like praying for what you don't want? Well, it's true. So that is why staying present in this moment is not only making life a lot more enjoyable, we can start to step out of that fear and anxiety that so many of us have, because you know what? That's an assumption. You have no idea what the future is going to bring. You don't. But we worry about it, and all of that's understandable. And part of the problem is that we have this expert in our head all day long. It's called us, and we think we know everything, and we say the same things over and over and over again to ourselves. So one of the things that I like to do is use acronyms. And for me, this is a nice way of remembering why we need to change our thinking. And that is, I want you to ask yourself, who are you inviting to your tea party? TEA. Because your thoughts create emotions, and your emotions dictate your actions. So think about it. The classic explanation is a fight or flight response. So if you have a thought that something is threatening to you, you're going to have a hormonal response of kicking out all this adrenaline and cortisol, so that if you're an animal in the woods, there I go again with my animal references, you're going to pick up your baby and run away, or, so it serves a purpose. The problem is that we think that we are in this mode all the time. But also, just a thought will create an emotion. It might be sadness. And based on that sadness, you're going to act a certain way. So pay close attention to your thoughts and check in with how real the assumption that you're making really is. The other problem you can run into is that we have these little inner critics, and they tell us why we can't have what we want, why we can't have the life we desire. So all of this is part of awareness of being here now. So remember, your thoughts equal your emotions, which then create your actions, and that creates your future. That's your assignment for today. I might also suggest that you keep a little journal, even if you just make a tick mark for every time you catch yourself in the past or worrying about the future. I'm not saying don't plan. I'm not saying don't have any memories. Acknowledge your feelings. But if you start to perseverate on this and realize that you're just creating more of the same thing, you want to change things. So change it up a little bit, my friends, and thank you for listening. I will see you next week. Have a fantastic week. Bye.